The other day when iNav 2.2.0 was released, I was looking at the release page and noticed some new features they added that really stood out. And first one being the new altitude mode and return to home to at least with linear descent. So I've had issues before where I had it set to at least and 200 feet, and I was flying up high and my camera actually just cut out, and I hit return to home. Still had symbology, but I was too high to see it. It was at sunset and black wing, and I couldn't see it. So I had to just dive blindly until I got down to about 300 feet and hit return to home, and then I was able to see it luckily then. But this new way would actually allow you to descend slowly down to 200 feet. The other one is this possibility of bypass. I always had the arming safety off, but this allows you to actually put it in allow bypass, and if you hold the yaw stick right, it'll let you bypass the arming safety. So if you're just on a bench or something, you can hold the yaw stick right and then go. The one that really caught my eye was this possibility of changing Vtx power. It just has this one line and not really much there. I went looking on the GitHub and found the issue and kind of saw a little bit, but didn't really have much there. So I went ahead and tried to figure out how to actually do it. Just kind of figured it out on my own. Went over here. So in iNav, they added the OSD symbol to show your actual Vtx power. So we'll go down here and show you that in the OSD tab. And if you scroll down, you got these VTX here. You got your VTX power and frequency and band and all that, and then you got the one that just has your power. So we go ahead and turn this on. I'm actually going to save it because we'll use that later when I show you how it works. I'm just going to put it down here to the side for now. Probably move it later. I don't really think I want it there, but it's just easy to do now. So okay, I'm going to save that. So that's how you'll see in your OSD what it's on. Obviously you can't see on the plane what it's at, so you kind of got to trust it. But I was looking to see, I don't have any other set up. This plane I think I've got set up just for radar, so yeah, only one alt, so that's my iNav radar. Check out my other video for that. It should be coming out. If it's not already out, it'll be out shortly. So we'll go over then to the adjustments tab. So in the adjustments tab is where this is done. I found this a little bit on the thing, so we're going to enable it here. I'm leaving it on channel 5. I actually want to use channel 5, which is my arm channel, so I'm going to set this the same as my arming. Bring it up a little bit. So when I arm, it's going to activate this adjustment mode. So then you drop this down. These are all the different adjustments you can do. At the very bottom is the new one, Vtx power change. I'm just leaving it on slot 1, and I'm not too sure, but this is the first time I really use these. And on this plane I've set it to 14, I think. I'll double check that later. And we're going to save that. So when channel 14, or when you're armed and channel 14 is adjusted, let me move this up just a little bit. When you adjust channel 14, it's then going to move the VTX channel either up or down, depending on which way you move, either the switch or I'm going to use a slider. So you're flying along and you want to bump your power down a little bit, you would just knock it down, or if you want to go up, obviously you go up. Again, I'll show you that here in a second with the actual plane. So the best use for this function is going to be when you're out flying around. I normally would just fly at full power, but when we're flying with your friends, you might be closer and they might be further out. So if I want to start trying to fly at level 2, which would be 200 on this VTX, and then if I start to fly further out, I can bump it up to 500, and if I start to lose video, I can bump it up to 800. And as I come back, I can bump back down. That way I'm not overheating my VTX, and I'm not blowing out anybody else flying with me. So it's a nice feature to have, so we'll go ahead and show how that works. Okay, so before we get started, we're going to be arming the aircraft. So as you can see, I already took a chunk out of it. We're going to take the prop off. Okay, so now that we got the prop off, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you some of this power on my radio. As I said before, I wasn't quite sure, but I do have it on channel 14. And what I did is I set it up for this left slider. So what you want to do, if you're doing that, you want to make sure it's in the middle position there when you're not trying to use it. So That's there, and then on my mixer, just 100%. Okay, so the radio's set up. We'll go ahead and apply power. Sorry about the strobe. Actually, not sorry about the strobe. Strobe fixed. Okay, so if you look here, you can kind of see Vtx. Make sure I can actually. Okay, so it's on R8 1 power. I've got it set to low power until ARM. Then I've got it set to go to power level 2 after it's armed. As I said, I want to try and fly around at 200 and then bump up if I need. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I put the that bypass I was talking about. So if I hold the yaw right and arm, it'll actually arm for me. Get it out of auto launch. So we're now armed. So currently, you can see it's on 2. So what I'm going to do, try and get so I can see this. I'm going to move this lever up and back to middle. See, I left it too long, so it actually jumped to 2. And you'll notice it's now on channel 4. I'm going to go back down, and there it's on 3. I'm going to go down, back to 2. Again, I'm only, when I do it properly, I'm going quick. So up and back, up and back. Again, this is where if you had a switch, it might be a little easier to just pop it quick. But function works great. I can go all the way down to 1. And I guess, let's see what happens. I'll try just putting that lever up. If I just leave it up, it goes to 4, and I can put it back to center. So if I want to go back down to 1, I can just put it there, and I'll go back down to 1, and that'll be good, and we're on 1. So yeah, that should be helpful for keeping the VTX from getting too hot while you're out flying around, and like I said, not blasting out your friends and all that bad stuff. So yeah, hope that was helpful. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something, like, subscribe, leave comments, check out my other videos. I just do this stuff because I find stuff out, and I like to share what I found, this cool feature like this that wasn't really overly explained on the GitHub, so I just kind of figured out what it was and trying to help you guys figure it out too. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later.